right, let's go ahead and get this going. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are continuing on the topic of database mastery. We're going to be doing this the entire month. So I want to make sure that you're continuing to show up so that you can go ahead and get that value, how to maximize, how to get the most out of your personal database. We're going to break every single last thing down, including 3 different types of scripts as to how we're going to go after our personal database. So we're going to go into that here in just a little bit. As always, I want to welcome those of you that are joining us over on Instagram, Facebook. Of course, those of you that are joining us over on YouTube, I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom. The reason I'm asking of you to do that is because it gives us the opportunity to just be able to participate a little bit differently. Now, if you are staying on those platforms, if you can, you are welcome to, I should say, to go ahead and, excuse me one second. You're welcome to type in your messages. We will go ahead and get those addressed. There'll be, of course, Lizette, who's going to be helping me, my co-host, in regards to getting some of those questions answered. So with that being said, let's jump right in. Any questions that you have here on Zoom, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and ask those questions now. So does anybody have any questions that I can address right out the gate so we can get some of that going? Nope. All right. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So let's do a little bit of a recap from yesterday. Again, for those of you that are joining us for the first time this year, Happy New Year. We did yesterday talk a little bit about how much business should be coming from our personal database. We want to understand our personal database is the one source from a coach's perspective that I can literally double, triple, and help quadruple an agent's income. And the reason for this is because there's 2 different types of agents. And the 2 different types of agents, agent number 1 is the agent that embraces it, does everything that they're supposed to, and they're continuing to not only grow their database, but the capitalization of getting business from their database. And those are the agents that are successful. Those are the agents that are doing 25, 50, 100, 200 plus deals a year. And then unfortunately, there's the second type of agent. And that second type of agent is the other agent that avoids it. I don't want to call my database. They already know I'm in the business. I get business from them, all this other nonsense, stuff. Now, those are the agents, unfortunately, that don't succeed in the business. They don't do quite well. Now, bear with me. I get it. I understand there are some outliers. But about 80, 90, 95% of the agents that don't address the database part the way that they're supposed to, they're usually the agents that are in that sputtering state. 2 deals, 4 deals, 8 deals a year, and they're just getting by. Again, I understand there are going to be some 5%ers, and those 5%ers are the ones that are capitalizing and getting business, 10, 12, 15, 20 deals a year. And those are the agents that are, of course, a little bit more influential. Okay, those are the agents that are doing a great job. But unfortunately, not everybody is like that. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to capitalize on that. Again, I'm going to open it back over to my audience on Zoom. Is there any questions that we can address? Feel free to go ahead and just jump right in and ask them. Okay. The other thing I talked about is that of all the sources, there are agents that do a great job in terms of the capitalization, the 5%ers that I just mentioned, that are going to be getting business, the 10, 12, 15 deals a year. But it's 70, 80, 90% of their business model. In other words, it's an agent that's doing 15 deals. 12 of the deals comes from their personal database. And they're like, yeah, I'm one of the top 10 agents in my office. Good to an extent. And what I mean by that is because that agent has 400 people in their database, they should be getting that 10% rule, which means they should be getting 40 deals from the one source. And then they should have another source, source number 2, doesn't matter where it comes from, open houses, door knocking, for sale by owners, social media, Zillow, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now in that second source, they should be able to get more business. And then a third and a fourth, and in some cases, a fifth source of business. Now, in that agent that's doing 15 deals, good for you. But if 12 or 13 of the 15 deals is coming from your database, you don't want to be in a position where you're getting more than 30 to 35% from one source. Because that agent that I'm just describing, they have so much meat on that bone of potential, because not only can they take their personal database from 12 deals to as many as 30 or 40 deals, but how about working that second deal a little bit better, or that second source, I mean. That second source, instead of just doing 2 or 3, can we get you to 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10? And then that third source, 2, 3, or 4, and then another 1, 2, or 3 from that other source. So we don't want to have more than 30 to 35%. Okay. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to just jump right in. Our database is our personal gold mine. Okay. This is the respect we need to have. Now, let's identify who should be in there because it is important. Some of you guys are joining here for the first time. Again, thank you. Welcome. And the 5 different categories. Number 1, we are talking about past clients. Past clients. Now, if you're new or newer, I talked yesterday about whatever your previous profession is. Okay. If you come from another background, include those people as a version of your past clients. Second is your family. Third is your friends. Now, in those 2 sources, I'm not talking about, well, who's going to be doing business, who's thinking about buying or something. No, 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 no. If they know you, you got to put them on this list. That 4th source is associates, people we do business with in the community. If you're giving them money, there should be reciprocation in return. Where are you frequenting? Barber, dentist, doctor, lawyer, nail salon, hair salon? Are you frequenting somewhere where you're actually paying out $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a year to this individual? That person should be in your personal database. The 5th one is your vendors: escrow, attorney, title, lender, home warranty, plumber, electrician, everybody who helps you in the real estate business. You put those 5 people on an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, Excel spreadsheet. Now, what I'm going to ask of you is take one step further and separate the husband and the wife as 2 separate entries. Okay, 2 separate entries. Now, one of the things when I'm speaking to a larger audience, when I'm talking about this very same topic, what I get them to do, which I'll encourage you to do, is get your phone, go to your contacts, scroll to the very bottom, and look how many people are on there. How many people do I have on my contact list? Now, I ask my audience as well, is when you do this, I've had some people, they'll sit there and say, well, I have like 1,800 people. Okay, cool. Well, let's keep some version of reality to this. Let's just cut it in half. So look at your contact list. You have 472 people, cut it in half. That's 240 some people. That is where you're going to start to at least have a gauge how much business you should be able to capitalize. So now you have a trajectory, you have a target. I should, based on Robert's 10% rule, we should be able to get 20, 25 deals out of this source. Okay. So let's go ahead
Robert,
and move
we
on.
have a question. So Shelly's asking, what about the past clients who are sellers who have moved out of state? Which I really like this topic about database because me myself, I'm going in a little bit deeper into my database. So, but that's a great question.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we do with the people or friends or family? I moved from Ohio, I no longer live there, or vice versa. They moved to Ohio, and I really I don't know if I'm going to see them ever again. Well, I'm going to ask of you to keep them in your database. Give them a call. So in this particular question, Shelly, thank you for the question, is stay in touch with them. Now, why do I want you to stay in touch with them? Regardless of whether they moved to Arizona, Nevada, or for that matter, moved all the way to Maine, stay in touch with them. And the reason you're going to stay in touch with them is I go through good friends with, let me think of, for example, Charles and Jill Atha, good friends of mine for about 20 years. And I give them a call. They're thinking about making a move over to Nashville, Tennessee. Once they make a move over to Nashville, Tennessee, am I going to stop calling them? Absolutely not. Charles, hey, what's going on? It's Robert. What's up, man? How's it going? How's everything in Nashville? How are you guys doing? Hey, this is what's going on in the market. This is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Who do you know that's in the market looking to buy, sell, or invest? Well, actually, where I moved to, my new company, there's this person that's thinking about selling their home. Perfect. I'd love the opportunity to help them. Now, can I help them? I'm not licensed in Tennessee, but I can because I could give my good friend Natalie a call and say, Natalie, hey, I have somebody for you. Would you mind giving me a little bit of a in return? 30, 35%? Heck yeah, absolutely. Now, on that, I'm going to share with you guys a very quick little story. There's a coaching client of mine. Her name is Erica. I'll leave the last name out of it. But Erica used to live in Southern California. I want to say it was Anaheim, Orange. She eventually ended up making a move over to Tucson, Arizona. Well, with Erica, she asked me the exact same questions. I said, yep, go do that. So she went through 6 months later. She gives me a call. Hey, coach, there's this city called Loma Linda. Do you service that area? Well, again, I'm in Rancho Cucamonga at the time, and that was probably about a good 20, 25-minute drive. And I said, heck yeah. Well, I have a doctor that's looking to sell his home. House was, I don't remember, about $2 million, I want to say. Property was sold, gave her a 30% referral fee. There was a $60,000 commission that was generated from this. She got $20,000 of that. Her average commission is $8,000. That's like doing 3 deals off of one referral. So, yes, I would encourage you, Shelly. That's a great question because there are people that we find are like that, whether it's people that have moved out or for that matter, maybe we moved away from an area. Okay. Good. All right. Let's continue on. And Lizette, thank you for chiming in on that question.
I also think, I mean, because Shelly, you're saying that they're moving away. So, but I do think about the family or friends that they have here still, in California or whichever state that they're moving away from. They still have friends, they have family, and if they're retired, I mean, they had coworkers. So there's still in connection with all of those people. So it's a pretty wide web. And so if you do service them, you service them well, they're going to talk to you about you to their friends and family and everyone that they have here in California, the place that they're moving away from. And then, of course, talking about referrals. I mean, that's always a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, just to kind of tie into with what Lizette just mentioned, it just brings me to mine. A high school friend of mine, her name is Jasmine, and Jasmine gave me a call and said, "Hey, we're thinking about selling our condo. This thing was a rinky-dinky little place. It was, sorry, Jasmine." So, anyways, it was like an $85,000 transaction. She ended up moving to Las Vegas. I ended up getting a referral out of it. I stayed in touch with her. Well, guess what? A year later, her mom ends up making the move with her. Her brother ends up making the move. All of these other people started to make a move. I think there was about 6 or 7 people that ended up making the move over to Las Vegas. If I wouldn't have stayed in touch with her, would I have gotten that business? I don't know. But I do know that the fact that I did, I was able to capitalize on that business. And I want to say it was probably about 2 million, if not $2.5 million of additional volume after that. So, all right, moving on. Um, Now, there's that 10% rule. Okay, now, as I mentioned, what I'm going to encourage you to do is you're going to look at all of the people that are in your contact list. I get it. I understand it's not 100% accurate. Okay, but at least it gives you a version of a target to go after for, just kind of mental exercise purposes. You're going to cut that in half. Okay, cut that in half. Now, of that, that gives you a trajectory. So if a person has, for example, 1,000 contacts in their phone, well, there's 500 people based on Robert's example. Now, of the 500 people, 10% of that is 50 transactions. Now, did you do 50 deals from that? No, I did 8. Okay, good. Well, now we have a destination. What I'm going to ask of you to do in that particular situation is, again, you're going to put them on an Excel spreadsheet. Good coaching client of mine. Of course, I'm forgetting the gentleman's name. I can visualize him. So he's in Indiana. He's putting this entire list together. He has about 3,800 people. And of the 3,800 people, like, coach, this is a lot of people. I get it. I understand. But we got to chip away at it. And what I had him do is literally, it took him 2 years to go through every single last person. But what ended up happening was as he was going through it, that 3,800 became 3,500, became 3,200, became 2,700, became 2,200, became 1,800. And eventually, I think he ended up around 1,300 legitimate people. And then the second time, which now took him almost 6 months to go through it, again, we worked together for about a good 5, almost 6 years. The second time we went through it, it took him about 6 months to go through those other 12, 1,300 people. And then that 12, 1,300 people became, I think, 1,100 or so, right? And then that third round, that 1,100 became 1,042. Now we started building it back up because now there's new business coming in that window of time. So it started going up 1,042, 1,100, 1,300, 1,400. But you got to have at least a starting point. Okay. So that's something that I really worked on with him. Now, I talked about don't hesitate to call those people you haven't spoken with in a while. Okay. As I just mentioned. Now, I shared the script yesterday and I'm going to share it again here in just a little bit. There is a reconnection script, okay? Because the one thing I don't want you to do is put yourself in a position where I give that person a call that I haven't spoken to in 6 years. And I go through, Lizette, hey, it's Robert. How are you doing? Well, you know, I'm doing real estate. Who do you know is thinking about buying, selling, or even investing that I could be of help to? No one? Okay, awesome. Well, hey, it was great catching up with you. I'll call you back, some other time. Lizette's going to get on the phone. She's going to look at and be like, Okay, well, I'm doing fine. That was kind of weird. That was a little bit kind of rude, actually. So I don't know if I really want to stay in touch with that guy, at least from that perspective. Well, ideally, there's going to be a reconnection. Okay, and that reconnection, let me go ahead and share that script now so that we're all on the same page. That reconnection gives us the opportunity to, Lizette, let me go ahead and role play with you if you don't mind.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share script. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to give Lizette a call. We're good friends. We haven't spoken since high school. We went to high school together. But it's been about a good 8 or 9 years since we last spoke. Okay. So I'm going to give Lizette a call, and here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Lizette?
Yeah,
Hey, it's Robert Villanueva. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Yeah. Hey, I was just simply giving you a call. You have a quick minute for me?
Sure.
All right, awesome. I know that this is random. I was going through my phone. I came across your phone number and I said, you know what? Let me give Lizette a call. Let me check in to see how you're doing. Because the last thing I want to do is just send you some random text. I mean, after all, it's been what, maybe about 8, maybe 9 years since we last spoke?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, I see you on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the beauty of social media. Same thing. I see that you're doing amazing. You know, you have your gorgeous husband, and you have your amazing dog. I mean, you guys are doing absolutely great. But I see you're actually you have a business. How's that business going, by the way?
It's good. I mean, we just started it out, and we're picking up some traction, so pretty exciting.
Oh, awesome. Is your husband helping you in the business?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're it's pretty much like a family business at this point.
Awesome. Good. How long you guys been married now, by the way?
For about 4 years.
Okay, cool. And I'm going to
Hmm.
go through, I'm going to have more conversation. Keep it very, very, it's important. Be genuinely curious. Okay. Now I'm going to go through, jump into the second half. What I want to do is now I'm going to go through and I'm going to jump back into the role play. Lizette, what I also want to do is take a minute. As you know, I've been doing real estate. I mean, obviously, that's what I post. And I wanted to see if I can get your permission, to just kind of check in with you maybe 3, maybe 4 times a year and just kind of give you some updates for you and your husband in regards to real estate. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I know. I see your posts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, awesome. Again, I'm just going to call you maybe 3, 4 times a year, just kind of give you some updates, what's going on, what's the latest, interest rates up, interest rates down, all that other good stuff. And then whether it is something for you or a friend or a family member, absolutely. I definitely would love the opportunity to earn your business. By the way, is there any real estate questions maybe I can answer for you now?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess what are the interest rates looking like right now?
All right, perfect. And then I would address that. And then I just go through and I would just simply close it out. Hey, it was great reconnecting with you. What I'll do is I'll give you a call back maybe around March or April and just kind of check in with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, good to hear
Awesome.
from you.
All right, likewise. We'll talk soon, okay?
Hmm.
All right. Thank you, Lizette. Which is exactly what I want you to do. And that's it. Okay. That is how we start to bridge that gap. So for my client that I just mentioned, who had, I think, 3,800 or so people, literally, I had him go through that, a large percentage of them. Now, there is a second script which can be also beneficial, which also ties in. We won't role play that, but I want to share it. As I mentioned, I'm going to showcase, share with you all of the different scripts. By the way, if you guys want information, if you guys want scripts, if you guys want any of that, send me a DM. Go on my website. My handle's on there, www.therobertvillanueva.com. Go on there, ask for the scripts, send me a DM on Instagram. My team will take care of that for you. We'll get you over the scripts. Okay. Basically free. Now, in that, there is an intro script for those of you that are a little bit new or newer to the business, or you just recently made a change. You were working in an ABC company and now you're at XYZ. I would go through, and we're not going to role play this, but I would go through, hey, Lizette, this is Robert. You have a minute for me? Yeah, hey, what's going on? Well, the reason I was calling you, I'm actually really excited about the fact that I now joined, blah, blah, blah company. And I also wanted to see if I could get permission from you to just kind of check in and give you some updates, what's going on with real estate 3, 4 times a year, and just kind of give you those updates. Would you be okay with that? Yeah, that would be great. Awesome. Well, hey, is this the best number to reach you at? It is? Okay, perfect. I'm going to send you some emails from time to time. What's your best email? Good, awesome. And then let me confirm, I have your mailing address as 123 Banana Street. Is that where you still live at? Okay, great. Now that I have you on the line, is there any real estate questions? Do you know of anybody? Anything from that direction? Just gives us an opportunity to create some version of a call to action. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything of anything that we have so far? I'm going to continue to dig into this.
Yeah, I just want to chime in because I do think I got into my head a little bit thinking, okay, well, they're not going to know me. We haven't spoken in such a long time. And so I thought, or maybe it was like a past client who I thought didn't go so well. And I remember mentioning that to you.
Mm,
But I got into my own head thinking, okay, well, they probably wouldn't want to, they're not going to be excited to hear from me. But actually, they were. So I got through it. It's just more a breakthrough through your mindset. Okay, just give them a call. I mean, worst thing happens. I mean, they just say no. They prefer not to get updates. Well, then at least now versus just kind of assuming and putting it into your head that they're gonna reject you right away. And
yeah.
then another thing I did see that Shelley had mentioned, like sometimes you have we think that everyone goes into the database, but we're really just picking who who is who. And so if you find contacts that you're like, well, I don't know, I have like 10 Joes. And that's happened to me too. I've been horrible at writing the notes. I'm getting a little bit better now.
Mm,
But just identifying who is who. And I would just give them a call and be like, "Hey, I know you inquired. You had an inquiry about real estate at some point. I found you in my contacts, and I just want to reintroduce myself again." So really, that's just how it is. I who knows, and it just kind of takes off from there.
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to a little bit with my client Luke. I remembered his name. For some reason, names kind of have a tendency of doing that with me. I probably have the same thing that my grandmother has. She goes through and names all 42 of her grandkids before she identifies the right one. But anyways, with Luke, same exact thing. He's like, Coach, what do I do? I got like 10 Joes in here. I mean, just give them a call and let them give you, tell you with whether or not they are or are not. The point is to scrub the list. Now, what I don't want you to do is go through the list and go, well, yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything. Yeah, well, I just saw that they posted that they bought a home. I don't want you doing that. Just give them a call, and you will be actually surprised in regards to the amount of people that do embrace you. Now, Lizette, can we share that story that you just mentioned without names?
With the past
The
client.
divorced couple?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, just tell them. I mean, Lizette was going through calling this the husband or former husband, and then the wife, which was now the ex-wife, and then share with the audience how that came about.
Um, well, I was going through my database and I was already on the D's. Her name's well.
Yeah,
So I was on the D's and so I was giving her a call and I remember struggling mentally before giving her a call, like, okay, I don't remember it going very smoothly because I know that, it was a divorce situation um and I don't remember her being very warm.
yeah,
So I just was like, okay, but then again, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna know if she doesn't want to hear from me either. So I did struggle for a minute mentally, and I'm like, you know what? Just let me give her a call. And worst thing, she just rejects me, and that's it. Move on. But I didn't know, so I gave her a call uh, after, just kind of being in the groove of it already.
yeah,
And I remember asking you too. I'm like, well, can I skip people? And you're like, no, don't skip them. Just get to know like who you want in your list. And it's better just to rip the band-aid right off the bat. So I gave her a call. She had a minute for me and was able to talk. And yeah, it was actually just more in my head than anything because she had a great like we had a great conversation, telling me that she wanted to sell her place and buy another place during the time of her kids moving to school. And so we put a plan in place. We I had followed up with her again and yeah, so I mean it was more in my head than anything. And that's happened a few times, but it's better to know than not know and then just kind of assume that.
Yeah, and the reason I had Lizette share that story is because she went through it herself, mindset wise. She looks at this person's name starting with a D, and this person, she goes through and she's like, "Ah, I don't know if I really want to call this person. I mean, this is the ex-wife. It was a divorce situation. It was kind of a little bit murky. I don't feel like she really ever took to me. She was never warm to me. I mean, there was no thank yous, no anythings, nothing from that, no warm and fuzzies. I said, just give her a call. Worst case is she says, F you, and you scratch her off the list and you move on. And then at the end, when it's all said and done, like Lizette mentioned, she was actually very welcoming. She was like, hey, it's so good to hear from you. It was a completely different type of a person, very embracing, and said, hey, well, I'm glad you called because I am thinking about selling. I am thinking about buying. And would that person have called Lizette? Probably not, because that person's not sitting there thinking about Lizette as her first option. Because every single last person, which is the other thing about in our database, every single last person has a person or five that they know. As you go through and you have in your contacts 400, 700, 2,000, 4,000 people in your phone, I guarantee you 100% of everybody that you have in your contacts on their contact list, they have one, two, five, or 10 realtors available to them. And that includes family. Okay. And in some cases, you have other family that's also in the business, the second cousin, or sometimes even your brother or sister. And like, what do I do there? All right. Any other questions that we can address? Nope. All right. Again, I just want to take a minute to say thank you guys for being here. Hopefully, you guys are getting tremendous value. We're going to continue to break this down. The goal and the purpose of this is to work on our skills. Now, in those skills, I do need participation. I do need people to, of course, partake in this because that's the whole purpose of what we're doing. So I want it to be a little bit less me and a lot more in regards to working on your skills, which I'm going to help you with. So let's go ahead. We got a minute or two, so we have the opportunity to go through a quick little role play. Who wants to be that first person to take a crack at it?
I'll take a crack at it. I don't know if you can hear me though.
I can hear you. Can you announce yourself first? Because I don't have the list in front of me.
Oh yeah, this is Chris Alexander.
Chris, thank you for participating. So what I want you to do is we're just going to go through. We're good homies, and I just want you to go through the script. I want you to see how quick and easy this is going to be. So whenever you're ready.
Hi, Robert.
Uh, yeah, Chris. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Do you have a minute, quick minute for me?
Yeah, talk to me. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I was just calling you as I was going through my phone and noticed that we haven't talked in a minute in a few years actually. And the last thing I wanted to do is send you some random text.
Okay.
So I was simply checking in to see how are you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I mean, I see you on social media. I see you're doing real estate. How's business for you, by the way?
Yeah, business is good. It could always be better, but it's doing pretty good. And I just wanted to see, just take a minute to kind of reconnect with you. What's new in your world? How's family, working, etc.?
Good, man. I mean, it's pretty exciting. I'm super excited. Last year was a little bit of a tough year for our business here, but I'm excited about this new year. I'm expecting the economy to rebound. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, we got some big goals this year. That's for sure.
Fantastic. Listen, Robert, I just wanted to take a minute to recommit to you and get your permission to see if I can check in with you maybe 3 to 4 times a year and give you some updates as to what's going on with real estate. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, check in anytime, man.
Great, excellent. Are there any real estate questions I can answer for you now?
No, I mean we're good. I mean, we're not looking to make any moves anytime soon, but yeah, I mean, if I know of any, but I'll let them know about you.
Fantastic, excellent. Well, it was great reconnecting, Robert. Talk with you in a few months.
Awesome. Hey, great job, Chris. Thank you for participating. Lizette, any feedback for Chris that we can give him?
Yeah, I think your speed was really good. Like it just kind of set the tone to get him comfortable with you. And
Thank
then
you.
I do think though, I know Robert's probably going to mention it whenever you ask him, well, what's new? And just
Mhm.
pause. And then the next question, well, how's the family? And then pause. because you do want to let them answer. Because if you're like,
Right.
well, what's new? How's the family? How's work? How's business? Um, so I think just more, just allowing that natural conversation, because you'll be, if you're talking to somebody you're curious, you're seeing them on social media. Oh yeah, I saw that you did this. Um, so it'll be a little bit more natural, but I do think just slow down with the question and one by one.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Now, Chris, you did an amazing job. Thank you for volunteering. I really do love the pace. I do love the fact that it was very, in a sense, casual. I don't know you. I appreciate you participating. And the reason I say the I don't know you part is because when we're talking to people, the one area that I do want you to work on is know your audience. And what I mean by knowing your audience, as an example, for me, I'm calling, my good friend Robert. Robert, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Okay. And then if I go through and I call my pastor, I'm not going to go, hey, bro, how are you doing? I'm going to be, a little bit more respectful. So I guess what I'm saying is that make it a little bit more to with what, who the audience is. So just keep it a little bit, in a sense, more casual. I appreciate the respect from with where you're coming from. But that's the one area that I do want to make sure, because that creates a little bit of this somewhat awkwardness. And then, yes,
Okay.
like I just mentioned, be genuinely curious. So for the sake of time, thank you for that. I would have gone through another question 2 or 3. How's your wife doing? How's your dog doing? How's the kids doing? How's the whatever? We want to be genuinely curious in that area, because that's what actually bridges the gap between the personal and the business, and it brings it all together. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Good work. All right, everybody. So I'm going to encourage you to please come join us again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock Pacific Standard. As always, I am beyond grateful for all of you guys to continue to join. My goal, last year I think we had about 70, 80 people participating at our peak. My goal is to get on the other side of 100. Okay, 100 people participating at the exact same time. So thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 o'clock. Let's have a powerful one. Go take a listing or 5. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.